Welcome back to another buy or invest video. This time around we have Weiss Schwarz power-up sets. You wanted it, and they have finally given it to you. Many years later, but you wanted it. Before I begin, I do want to start out with a little story about a man named Bob. Now, this is going to play a significant part in the story that I'm going to tell you here about these buy or invest power-up sets. Now, Bob is a very simple man. This guy does basically the same thing every day. He wakes up, basically has the same clothes, eats the same kind of thing, does the same kind of routine. But every now and then, this dude, he wants something sweet. And I will say every now and then, as in maybe every 3 months, he is going to be looking for some form of sugar. That could be in the form of a cookie, candy, or chocolate milk. Now, what he'll do is search through all the different places and see what comes out, but inevitably it comes back down to the chocolate milk. Now, what he does is pour milk into said glass, number one. These glasses are pretty neat because you can write your name on here, but I've never actually seen anybody do that. So the whole point of the glass is kind of gone. But anyways, he takes this cup of nice white milk and he finds his Hershey's chocolate syrup that is in the fridge somewhere, right? It's somewhere in there. If you look in your fridge, you might happen to have something there, maybe a condiment that's been sitting there for many years. And the nice part about chocolate milk is you can make this whatever you want it to be, right? You got pure milk, you got syrup, and you could just keep going like this, right? Just keep pouring it down. The nice part about it is you can have layers start forming. Look at all that. And you can just keep on going. You just keep squeezing this thing and it just keeps coming out. I like to form a nice little bottom down there. And you know you have enough once you start stirring this thing and the chocolate just doesn't seem to go away. The syrup at the bottom, it just stays there forever. And what he'll do is he'll stir it up and he'll think about all the times he's had a lot of fun with chocolate syrup. There's many applications of chocolate syrup that you can use for it. I probably walked into that one, but as you see, this is turning. So he thinks about all those good times, maybe even the bad times, because that is a coping mechanism for Bob as well. And he'll think about it, and as he's doing it, this is stirred. It's kind of still brown down there, but I'm going to take a little swig here. And he drinks it. And then he thinks to himself, I thought it tasted better when I bought this, or the events that happened. And there is a reason for this. It's because probably the Hershey's chocolate syrup is expired, or we just have all these positive thoughts when we think back in our memories. And this is most likely what happened on the Weiss Schwarz power-up sets because, as you can see, or you will find out in this video, these things came out many, many years ago. And even though people like these IPs, right? Like if you watch Haruhi, you like Kill la Kill, if you watch Log Horizon, and you develop some sort of actual love for these series, you think back and how amazing it was. But then you realize that you haven't seen them in so long, and other things took its place, like Licorice Recoil, Chainsaw Man, Bleach, Bocchi the Rock. I could go on days and days and days on different anime that has come out. So Bushiroad, I think, wanted to try many different things. They want to put out different products. And at the same time, you know what? We have a gap in our schedule. So let's fill it with something that we have already from the past. And they rummaged through those shelves. They looked through the fridge. And you know what? We got power-up sets. People demanded it. And here it is. But the thing is, there is an expiration date on everything. That happens with chocolate syrup. That happens with anime IPs. The list goes on and on. Even music, right? How many people said you had a favorite band 10 years ago? And if you came up with a list of favorite bands, is that band still on that list? Or is it further down from where it was before? It used to be number 1, now it's number 20 because time goes by. And this is what we have here, unfortunately. So first up is Haruhi Power Up set. Inside of this stuff is going to be 8 types of cards and 4 each. So you get a play set of them right there. You also get some PR cards, and that totals up to 16. You can see that there. There will be 1 of 4 pieces of foil for those 8 types up above. The PR cards doesn't look like there will be. So what you see across the top of the screen there is the different cards. The bad part is, as we all know, it takes 50 cards to make a deck in Weiss Schwarz. If you total that all up, we have 48, which is actually not enough to play with. That is very, very sad because what we have here is a non-playable deck. I actually had to quickly count there just to make sure. But yes, that is not enough. And if you check it out, there is only 1 climax card in there. So you're technically missing another 4 that you would want to add to make a playable deck. So what you got here is a set of cards that is not usable in its current form. You also have Top Loader, deck case, and storage box, which looks really cool. I do think it looks really nice. But for what it is, and for the people that wanted to get into the set, this is not enough to do it because it's powering up the previous set. It's not a standalone. What we have here is my anime list because I always like to check this out when I think about investing in a set. What we have is Haruhi Season 1, 2 movie and a spin-off with Yuki. And you can see this came out in 2006, 2009. The movie, there was no date. There was a date on my anime list, but for whatever reason, it's not on this actual listing here. And then you have that spin-off of Spring 2015. And what you will notice is over time, the popularity of Haruhi has died down. I love Haruhi so much. It hurts me to say this, but you can see how much it's dropped down. And the worst part about it is I want you to pay attention to the second line there. That would be season 2 of Haruhi Suzumiya during the Endless 8 trials, I will say. Anybody that's watched the Endless 8, I've talked about this many times, knows that that was pretty brutal. I liked it in the end. Thinking back about it, I liked it, but it was a struggle, and that is reflected in the ranking and in the popularity because that dropped it and the movie made it go up higher. Okay, so what we have here is 2009. We have the release of the trial deck, so it is actually pretty cool to see that these line up. Bushy Road was actually trying to shove product out at that time when it correlated with the actual season. So it's not like they waited years later to put Haruhi out. Nope, spring 2009 is when it happened. Trial deck November 21st, 2009. Booster box, December 19th, 2009. You also had an extra booster in 2011, and then the power up set showed up 2016. So we're in 2023. That's many, many, many years later from the original, and now the power up set. Same thing, Kill a Kill here. The thing you're going to notice is different. What I meant before, now you have a set of cards with no climaxes in there. So if you do want to play Kill a Kill, you are going to actually need to hit the secondary market and buy some climax cards, which you can do. But you need other cards as well, right? This isn't going to be the end all be all. You're going to need other stuff. So it follows the same configuration as the other stuff. Top loader, deck case, storage box. The original one had sleeves in it, but this one does not. And you can see here, Kill a Kill, anime, fall 2023. Just skipping real quick ahead, you can see the trial deck came out February 21st, 2014. Booster box, May 23rd, 2014. And when I quote these, I'm saying these are the Japanese dates here. Hopefully you understand that. You can tell by just looking at the booster boxes not being in English. They are not readable to me, so that's where it is. And also the dollar amount is not a dollar, it is in yen. So keep that in mind. But the cool part again is fall 2023. spring 2014 is when we see the booster box show up. So they tried to keep it really close. The power up set, December 23rd, 2016. So they used that same date as that Haruhi. And next one is our Log Horizon. We do have one climax in there. So if you try to roll in with this, maybe you got a shot. I wonder if people care if you need a 50 card deck. Probably, because it makes your chances of hitting climax better. Unless you have 4 climaxes in your deck. Same thing right here. Loader, deck case, and storage box will be included in there. Now, if you take a look at Log Horizon, I did like Log Horizon when I watched the first 2 seasons. You can see here there is a massive drop off from the members. It came out fall 2013, season 2 was fall 2014, and then we have season 3 winter 2021. Long time. I didn't even watch it myself because I think it was on High Dive. Something like that. I didn't watch it. I don't have High Dive. I do watch it on Crunchyroll. I watch Crunchyroll, but it doesn't have Log Horizon, I believe. So you have members 1 million down to 585, down to 223. So massive drop off. The popularity isn't what it used to be. Hopefully season 3 was good because eventually I will watch it. But you could see when this first came out, February 21st, 2014. And then we also have a extra booster, June 13th, 2014. So again, it hit what it was trying to do, right? We have fall 2013, then we have fall 2014. Same thing happening here. I think that's really cool. And then the power up set came out April 8th, 2016. Now, skipping right to meta, this thing is no good. These power up sets are no good because it's so old. They are past their prime. And that's unfortunate. And you can find out all about the meta. There was a new video put up by PGH Weiss Schwarz on the 2022 wrap-up and 2023 speculative tier list. So go check that out. You know, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Now, if you actually wanted to play this, you're going to have to pick up cards. And let's just see what the sealed and the cards are doing currently. You can see the booster box on Haruhi is pretty expensive. The trial deck, amazingly, is still $25.44. And the reason for that is when the boom in the collectibles happened, Haruhi was still plentiful, easy to find. You can find those Meister sets that are sitting there in the middle. Wow, $159.99. But you could find this stuff. It was still plentiful. The trial decks I thought you could get for $5. Isn't that crazy? Yes, you could get it for $5. Now the cards, though, different story. I didn't do any sort of filtering out on the cards. I just put market high to low, which means anything that hasn't been bought in a long time isn't going to show up on this, let's say, top 12 list that you see on the screen. So just keep that in mind. But the reason why I did that is you can see the first card over there is Swimsuit Haruhi and Mikuru, sold out. But the next one is a double rare, $32. Next one is a rare, $30.99. You have another rare coming in slot 4, usual Haruhi, $35. You get my point. You have boxes and trial decks that are somewhat expensive. And then you also have cards that you may need to use that are expensive as well. Let's take a look at Kill la Kill. Same thing, but the booster box is crazy expensive. The trial deck, crazy expensive as well. As you can see here. It's sad. It's sad what we have. But then you look at the power-up sets. It's amazing that people can try to sell these at $75. But you know what? If you can, more power to you. You have a power-up case down there for $9.99. And the cards themselves, there is that conclusion after wearing. We have $58, $30.99 for another double rare. You got a PR card for $6. You have a rare at $14. So there is some that are expensive, slash maybe even gone at this point. Like I said, I filtered by high to low. I didn't break it out by trial deck, PRs, commons, rares, all that good stuff. You could do that on your own, but I just want you to get a general feeling about how this is going. People, I've said it myself about reprints. And when you think about reprints on this stuff, you'd be like, well, look, the booster box, the trial deck, cards, expensive. Some you can't even find. But the thing is, with Kill la Kill, what you're seeing here is a list off this place called Aniplex. And if anybody's been watching Weiss Schwarz in the past, let's say year and a half, what happens with Aniplex is we normally don't get signatures. So we have a conundrum now. If you get a reprint of Kill la Kill, are you going to get your signatures to go with it? And that's going to be a fairly asked question because it's not guaranteed, right? We just had Kaguya Love is War. That came out with no signatures, that band outfit stuff that nobody wanted. Yeah, that no signatures. So Kill la Kill, do you want Kill la Kill without signatures on it? That is a question you're going to ask yourself if you really want to demand reprints on it. Log Horizon, $53 for a trial deck. Those trial decks were definitely easy to find. You also have the booster box down there at the end that is sold out. Can't find it. You probably get it out there somewhere in the world. And the power up sets, $66.95. What you won't see on a lot of these is a lot of buying. Not a lot of buying happening here. With the cards, I want to point out that there's an Akatsuki SP up there for $100. If you click into that, that is a damaged copy. That is why it is $100. So don't let that number throw you off. And you can see all the different cards on here, fairly expensive. Okay, I'm just skipping right to this because there's not much more to say about it. We have following, 1 star. Why did I say that? Even though people love this, and go back to Kill la Kill and show you that there was like that million on there. I could show you Haruhi had a fairly decent following. We had Log Horizon that had a decent following, but that died off over time. We have Meta Strength where people are telling you this is many, many years old. It's expired, past its prime. Just don't do it. And then the arts and the signs, there are no signatures on here. The art, if you like the anime, if you like that art, you get that one foil in there for those 8 cards. It's pretty nice, right? It's pretty nice. But again, you're going to actually have to love it. So last thing here, we have Mikuru. That's from Haruhi. And I summed it all up here. So weakened, no sign cards. This is basically a non-functional trial deck slash supply set. That's what you're getting when you're buying this. Everybody is getting the exact same thing. There is no difference. You have no chance at something special inside of there unless they made some sort of printing error, which will be funny. But at this point, that wouldn't have happened because Bushy Road already sold this stuff, right? There was that pop-up shop. They had that out there, and there was no sort of sign cards or errors inside of there. Not gonna happen. Another drawback to this is the original set cards are really expensive, and I will say now that I look at all of this, a reprint probably shouldn't happen. Even though if you're a person that's coming into this and you like Kill la Kill, or you like Haruhi, or you like Log Horizon, I will tell you as somebody that's been staring at this for the past couple months that you probably shouldn't reprint it if you're trying to make money. Because even though there's some people that will demand it, how many people will actually buy this knowing that this product is pretty much dead? Like, these decks aren't going to do much for you in terms of winning. And when you think about the stuff inside of these things, it's not going to make people want it even more. There's going to be people that buy it just because they want to finish off their collection, like me. I'm not going to tell you how many I'm going to buy. That's classified information. But I will say there's not going to be a whole big market for this. Yeah, you could say over time this is going to be so limited that people are going to want it. But truly, would you rather buy this power up set or buy one of the sets in the future like Quince, All Alive 2, Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, maybe Licorice Recoil if it ever comes here, which by the way is an Aniplex anime which may not get signatures. I would think they would spring for signatures on that one. It's a pretty big IP, so why wouldn't you spring for signatures on that if it ever shows up in English? Okay, so when it comes to buying this thing, I'm down in the sense of a collector. Investment wise, I tell you to stay away from it unless you want to play the other side where you think it's going to be so limited that nobody is going to be picking it up, and it's going to be higher just because of the limitedness to it. I hope they don't print any more old stuff, but when I take a look at the current product schedule, we got Saikana, we got Fruit of Grisaya, and we have Review Starlight. There's going to be a lot of new stuff coming out, but right now, we're still in a little bit of a downtime with old stuff coming out. Not to say these weren't good in their time, just like this chocolate milk, but over time, the effectiveness, the potency dies off. And now we're left with stuff that doesn't sell. Okay? And last bit, if you ever need to contact me, here's my email, Twitter, and TCG player link, which I will use for giveaways monthly and quarterly. Which, by the way, I haven't talked about it much. The next one will be March, the quarterly one. It should be as much as the Christmas one, which is pretty awesome. So again, thank you for using that link and supporting said giveaways. I really do appreciate it. I think it's just fun to give back because all of you use that link. You're going to use TCG Player anyways. Please use my link and we can keep the giveaways going on. The giveaways will continue to happen as long as people keep using the link, of course. So as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. And make sure, if you have stuff just laying around, you might want to check the expiration date on it. But they say that chocolate or something sugary doesn't go bad. It crystallizes, which if you like crunchy chocolate milk, I don't think anybody will ever say that. I don't think anybody likes crunchy chocolate milk, but that's what actually happens to it. How do I know this? Classified information. Have a good one.